Hey folks, what's going on? It's me, Andrew Westmoreland, back again with yet another stream. I do like that though, it's pretty cool. How's everyone doing today? Personally, I'm doing okay. I would like to do better. So let's kick off and get into this and see what's going on. I can tell you a couple things have already been happening today. Oh, you know, when you switch these things around, these assets, you would think like it's gonna actually work the way you want it to. There you go. That logo's fixed. Oh boy, we got a lot going on. A lot. Let me get this going. Actually, I want to start with this one.
This is not only the end of a war, this is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East. This is not only the end of a war. This is the.
So, I believe this is President Trump was speaking in Israel. Okay, so they're signing this historic peace treaty. This person, C3, says, spot the difference. President Trump signs a treaty for peace in the Middle East, and Tim Walz signs a bill for late-term abortions. Life versus death, good versus evil. We are not the same. I love saying that to leftists. We are not the same. Because we're not the same. Not even close. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move this big-ass thing out of the way. It's way too insulated. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we're not the same. It really is good versus evil at this point. It really is. Let's see. This is Trump arriving at Tonino Lamborghini International Convention Center in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, for the International Gaza Peace Summit. I don't know about that music. Of course, they always have to play some music that's probably copyrighted. Uh-huh. Right. So, I mean, it's like this is one of those things where it's like, okay, this is historic, right? This is like amazing. This is something that we should be treasuring, right? And it's just interesting because I've been seeing some really strange responses on the internet, on X. And it's just like, okay, well, why is the left like this? Why are they acting like this? Why are they acting like nothing is okay? Why are they acting like this isn't a huge win? Well, I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? Huh. All right, I should go to my responses then. I'm trying to find this. I am a prolific crap talker online, I can tell you that. I'm going to find it. Yeah, definitely need to be careful scrolling through this timeline. There's this naked thing in Portland. It's just like people just butt ass naked riding bikes. I don't understand. I really don't understand people sometimes. I legitimately can't find it. Ah, here it is. Okay, I'm going to share this real quick. There we go. This post, maybe next time Jews will reach a new high score. It's, basically talking about the peace deal in Gaza, and, we're celebrating that the war is over, and they're just saying, maybe next time they'll top their high score. I said, what a strange way of thinking. There's like 5 genocides happening around the world right now. And for some reason, y'all are focused on a religious war with the least amount of deaths. It just seems really odd that this particular case is more important than the tens of millions dying worldwide from war and genocide. And I stand by this. I mean, why is this war between Israel and Palestine, why is this huge focal point? Why is it that primarily Westerners, left-wing Westerners, are hyper-focused on this particular case? Red Index, or Index Red, says, you agree that what Jews did here was terrible, but there are more terrible mass murder events to be concerned about. Is that your position? If not, please help me understand. I said, in part, because it's true, in part. Good morning, Lance Corporal Veteran. I said, yeah, in part. I think that war is terrible and we should try to stop and prevent it if possible. But this idea that we're going to criticize how people wage war is just really backseat driver energy. Because me personally, I'm scorched earth. If you attack me, I will dedicate the rest of my existence to annihilating my enemy. There's no such thing as fair game and fair rules during war. I mean, I'll add that, yes, obviously we have international laws and stuff that we try to uphold, that you want to have some kind of standards. You don't want people just doing unspeakable things all the time. But let's be real here. If your country's being attacked and it's existential, there are no rules. You're going to do whatever you need to do to survive. So, Hamas didn't pull any punches on their October 7 attack, so why would you expect Israel? You're more than welcome to focus on whatever you want. I'm simply stating that it's kind of weird that the American left is hyper-focused on this tiny conflict while completely ignoring the tens of millions of people dying in other conflicts around the world. What's the obsession with Israel and Palestine, a tiny insignificant speck on the map? I missed a K there, on the map compared to the Congo, Sudan, Myanmar, the Uyghurs, Nigeria, etc. So, and that's the thing, is they never talk about those other wars and genocides and ethnic cleansings and religious wars. There's a genocide happening in Sudan, civil war. Multiple different ethnicities are killing each other there. There's genocide in Myanmar. The Uyghurs, those are the Muslims in China. China's killing them and castrating them, sterilizing them. I believe in Nigeria, there are tens of thousands of Christians being hunted down and executed, genocided. I mean, it's just like, why are we focused on Israel and Palestine? It's really weird to me. And it just shows that it's fake. It's absolutely fake. It's like they focus on this one thing because, well, it just reveals that they're actually just hate the Jews. And, you know, like I've said many times, I have my questions and criticisms, and you know, I'm not one of these, I'm just going to be all in for Israel because they do a lot of weird, shady, questionable things. But these Palestinian people, like, I see what they do, and it's 10 times worse. I see how they live. I see their culture. I'm not interested. So I'm not going to support either side, other than I will say that I'm glad that this war is ending. That's what I'll say. I'm glad that the conflict is ending. They said, I don't see any significant point of disagreement here other than the expectation of the celebration from the left. The reaction from the left is much more authentic than the right. They are hopefully optimistic that the killing will stop, but don't trust it and still rightfully despise Israel. There isn't anything to celebrate. And I'm just like, I don't get this. I really don't. Saying that there's nothing to celebrate, I don't understand this mentality. People celebrate the end of wars all the time. It's always been this way. I mean, you can just go back in pretty much any major conflict, and you can see people in the street celebrating. You know, they do victory parades and all this other stuff, but you also have just organic stuff too. And just pretending like it's fake that people are happy that the war is ending, I don't understand. And the reality is, you're going to have these people. They're still causing problems. The far left, the Antifa types, these pro-Palestinian people are still in the streets. They're not satisfied with the ceasefire and the peace treaty, and they want more because it's not about ending the war. It's not. If it was, they would be over and done with. Okay. Let's see. Close some of these tabs. All right, we spent about 15 minutes on that topic. Let's go to something else here. City News Toronto. 8 men charged with stealing credit cards, gift cards, and checks. Of course, they have to spell checks like that. You freaking Canadians. Checks from residential mailboxes. Like, authorities say more than 450 pieces of mail valued at more than $400,000 were recovered during their investigation. The stolen mail included 255 checks. I can't stop spelling it like it's French. 182 credit cards, 35 government IDs, and 20 gift cards. Police arrested 8 men listed below. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this shit. I see Singh, Chatta, Jatana, Sing. Huh. Interesting. It's almost like there's a pattern emerging here. They face a combined total of 344 charges. It's almost like there's a trend happening where a certain demographic, a certain group of people are committing all of the crimes. And it's how interesting too. It's coded in a certain way. Huh. Have you noticed that certain crimes are coded for certain groups of people? This would be scamming. I mean, it's theft, but scamming because they're using people's checks, credit cards, government IDs, and gift cards. So strange. And look at their names. It's almost like I should be careful what I say. There's certain things you can't say on live. Like I can make a video about it just fine, but if it's live, it's like extra spicy or something. I don't get it. So I'll say it in the negative because I'll say it this way: you're not allowed to, and you're not supposed to talk about and say that there's genetic differences, that different things are inherent to different demographics and genetic pools. So I don't know. I guess I can't say that. I'm not allowed to say that, Indian people tend to have a culture and possibly even a genetic predisposition to scamming. You're not allowed to say that. So, How strange. Hold on one second. Let me move to the next one. This is just some good news. This is a feel good story. Hold on. This one's fantastic. What do we have here? Well. Oh. Antifa agitator nabbed by federal police, dragged into custody at the ICE facility in Florida. Justice served. Well. Back up.
Locking people in cages?
Where's your moral compass? You could hear the Karen in the background.
Those of you that say soft, I'm sorry.
I'm sure your children and your wives and your mothers and your fathers are so proud of you.
They are actually, though. So that's that thing, is this like Karen try to like hyper feminize, hyper toxic sympathy, suicidal sympathy. Karen over here trying to make them feel bad about their job. That the fact of the matter is, these guys chose this job because they believe in America. Okay? They believe in enforcing the laws. And one of the most important laws is, or concept even, if you can't police your borders, if you can't control who's in your country, then you don't have a country. It's just no man's, anybody can just come in and it's not a country anymore. The concept of having a country is that you have borders, you have a people, you have a culture, typically even you have a religion, a shared language. So what are we talking about here?
When the history books tell you what happened during this presidency and this dictatorship, you're going to have to say that you were DHS and ICE. That can't feel good.
They're trying so
I
bad.
have to assume you're better than you're showing us right now. I have to assume somewhere in there, if you're
This guy right here is like trying not to laugh. He's like, this bitch is dumb. Girl bye. This is the girl bye face. But hold on.
I have to assume you're better than you're showing us right now.
Let's see if
I have to assume somewhere in there, if you're
yeah. That's the girl bye.
this has to
Okay.
affect
Wait. No way, man. Are they not embarrassed? This looks like a fucking Fortnite lobby. What is this? You've got a mushroom. You've got a frog. You've got a shark. It looks like a SpongeBob. I don't know what this thing over here behind the frog is. Oh, there's a Patrick back there. Like, what is this? At a certain point, we got to be like, okay, guys. At a certain point, we got to be like, they need to go. Like, why are they allowing this? Arrest them. Arrest them. This is a travesty. Hold on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is like your average Fortnite lobby. Complete random chaos. That's what it looks like. Do you see the difference here? Because I don't. Look at this crap. Looks pretty similar to me. People in costumes and suits. And they look absolutely ridiculous. This is what we have to deal with. And they think that the rest of general society is supposed to take these people seriously. Okay, guys. Okay. Oh, boy. All right, let's move on to a different one. This is wild. I just, like, this place is... America's cooked. All right, what does this lady got to say?
So, if anyone is curious what Europeans really think about Americans and American culture, let me introduce you to the Gardens of the World in Berlin. This is the America Garden. It is a fake parking lot. Literally, this is the garden. It looks like a parking lot. This is the curated, designed garden with half-dead palm trees and a closed-off patch of grass. Yeah. This is the Italian garden, and this is South Africa. This is the Korean garden. Whole beautiful Riyadh. This is the Moroccan garden. It's very well done, actually, if you notice. So, if anyone is curious what Europeans really
like,
think about America...
Hey, good morning, Miss Red Badger. I'm like, okay...
and American culture. Let me introduce you to the Gardens of the World in Berlin.
Yes,
this is the America Garden. It is a fake parking lot. Literally, this is the garden. It looks like a
happens. Like I don't understand. It's like okay. All right, let me see. What else is going on? And I see Trump is doing his Egypt thing right now. Let me see if I can...
Raw, not just for Palestinians, but for Arabs and Muslim people.
He's not speaking yet. How about this? I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up when he starts speaking. I'll pull up the White House feed on YouTube or something. Let me see. Where's the White House? White House. I'm sure they're going to go live, right? Or, well, so that's the other thing. They might not go live directly from the White House. So how about this? I'll just keep the on X. I'm sure it'll pop up. We'll just keep looking at this. Trying not to scroll because you just live scroll on X and you can see all kinds of stuff. It's so unfiltered. Let's see. Here's a great story. Illegal migrant trucker with no name given on New York driver's license ID arrested in Oklahoma. Why are you in my country? Male, height 5'9", eyes black. He has black eyes. He doesn't have brown eyes. He has black eyes. Anmol is his name, I guess. Anmol is like a last name or something, and no name given. So this is fraud, corruption. There's a couple of charges you could do here. Fraud for the person who issued this driver's license. Corruption because you're a government official. There's just a couple things we should do here. I mean, this guy absolutely needs to be deported immediately. Honestly, he kind of doesn't even look like the same guy in the picture. I mean, kind of. When was it issued? 2025. I mean, look at the pictures, though. Like, you could see the eyebrows the same. The eye shape is the same. I understand angles and lighting, but he looks significantly different. The point is, he's got to go. This is not acceptable at all under any circumstances. And enough is enough. Like, we have to stop this. This just keeps happening. How strange that it just keeps happening in these Democrat states where we're having these immigrants. Is he even he's an illegal immigrant too. He's not even allowed to be here. They're giving illegal immigrants state IDs. They claim that these people can't vote. That it's illegal to vote if you're an illegal citizen. An illegal immigrant. It's illegal for them to vote. So that must mean they just don't vote. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That clearly makes no sense. Well, it's illegal for people to speed, so why do we have speeding laws? You know, it's, you know, it just nobody breaks those laws, I'm sure. Yeah, it's against the law to break into a store and steal their stuff. Nobody does that, I guess. I mean, that's the same logic. It's illegal, therefore nobody does it. It's like, that doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Lance Corporal Veteran says, I believe the CDL issue to illegals is an intentional weaponization, random chaos to create deadly results. Yeah, so that goes into the anarcho-tyranny mindset. They're absolutely doing this stuff on purpose. None of this is by accident. And there's multiple levels of this too, of course. You're going to have the low-level people who are the toxic sympathy, toxic sympathy and the suicidal sympathy types who are, hey man, like that hippie. We're in the new age hippie era, right? And they're just saying, hey man, these people are people too, right? So they should be allowed to be here and be American and have our cool stuff too, right, man? Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, why are you just so mean? You just like don't get it. And it's so frustrating, this mentality and this logic. I legitimately don't understand this anymore. Like, when I was in my 20s, growing up, a teenager in the 20s, like, obviously you have this, you're guilted into like trying to do the right thing, and you want to try to help everybody. But now that I'm 39, I'm finally understanding like how toxic all this was, because it was endless amounts of empathy and sympathy, endless amounts, never ending. And you're just supposed to give everything you have to these people. There's no situation where you're supposed to make it out on top. It is what we were taught. That's not what the Bible says. That's not what it teaches you. And I'm just at this point now, like I'm fed up with this. Okay. And like we said, there's different levels. You have that low level, like new age hippie crap where now they're saying like, I don't understand. Of course he can come over here. The next wave of that is you have like the more militant types, like the Antifa types, like they know they never have these types of people in their circles. They're always like 98%, 99% white. Okay. They're usually affluent. Yeah, they'll have some poor Antifa, but you'll have these rich people who are funding it that are in there. Like they're the trust fund babies who are part of Antifa too. Then you have like the political side, these Democrat leaders, these left-wing leaders, and they're just like, they're the ones organizing this all the way. Okay. And then you have like the big rich donors, the mega donors. You'll have, probably some in the banking industry, foreign governments, all these different things. They're all acting in concert, and there's all these different levels of attacks, essentially. These attacks against the West and America. And this is just part of it. It's just like, if you showed a story like this in the 90s to anyone in America, they would lose their mind. They would lose their mind. Absolutely not. We would all be united, left and right. No, they would say, send the feds in. We got to investigate this DMV and figure out what's happening here. Like, at no point is this okay. So, all right, let me see what else we can find. Okay, I don't know who this lady is. She looks like one of these hippies, but I will bite. Let's bite. It says, here we go. Gavin Newsom, new scum, just signed into law SB 79. This overrides local zoning and allows for 7-story residential development within single-family zones within half a mile of public transit. I mean, that the Pacific Palisades has a new public transit station planned. Land grab. This is the Democrats' plan all coming together. I mean, that's a conspiracy theory. People are suggesting that, well, we know the fire was arson. The Palisades fire was arson. It was intentional, but some are saying that it was local Democrats were intentionally trying to do this. So, because they had these big plans, you'll never get these mega million mansions demolished for these residential complexes. It just wasn't going to happen. So some are suggesting that that they it was intentional. So what is this? It seems to me all those communes from the 60s and 70s all died because they all got older and had kids and got tired of being abused by criminals taking advantage of their goodwill. Yeah, I mean, when you're young and stupid, it feels good, right? It feels good to say, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right side of history. It feels good. You're like, you're an activist, and yeah, we're trying to change the world. But you're dumb. That's just how it is. Like, you're dumb. Very few young people are really intelligent. And yeah, just looking back on myself, like, yeah, I had the intelligence, I had the IQ, but the information I had, the knowledge I had was limited. And just, it's just so fascinating to me that as I age, I'm just like dumping more information into my brain, and, the perspectives I'm getting, it's just changing everything. But yeah, man, people have good intentions. I think a lot of people really do have good intentions, but they don't understand the consequences of their actions, the consequences of what they're advocating for. Yeah, if you have a small hippie commune and you're actually working and stuff, and yeah, sure, it could work just fine, if everyone, follows the rules. But then what happens when you stop? You have those people who are not following the rules anymore. Well, it causes problems. So, all right, let's watch this video.
Californians, you are not going to like this. Gavin Newsom just signed SB 79.
Why does she look like AI?
Controversial bill that overrides local zoning and allows
Is she in a
for
tent?
7-story residential development within single-family R1 zones if they are within a half a mile of public transit. That's current or future public transport, including bus stops. Most people have no idea that this battle was going on. It was even controversial within the legislature. It barely got out of the legislature, and it's one of the most interesting vote counts that you will ever see. Cities and counties across the state lined up either for or against it because this is a landmark bill, now law, that takes away local control around the development of our neighborhoods. This is part of a larger agenda to push population into high density around transportation. Developers are happy, but you're going to have no say when a 7-story residential building goes into your single-family neighborhood. California.
I mean, let me see what Lance Corporal Veteran has to say. The high-rise residence close to public transit has been in the pipeline of urban utopias for 25 years. 2008 economic crisis killed that. I'm assuming now they look like government is giving it legs. Oh man, there's something inherent in my brain that it's so hard for me to like separate it. Like reality kicks in, obviously, but I have this vision in my head. If I was the divine emperor, the grand emperor, the whatever, the king, the president, I would be pushing for, in my head, centralized planned cities. But the reality is it just doesn't work. It never works. Now you can slowly add things like Tetris into a city, and if people want to be there, they will come. The problem is there's always these conflicts and clashes, right? So like in my head, I am like one of these people. I have always I fantasize and in video games and stuff, like builder video games. I build these like beautiful, grandiose, symmetrical buildings and towns and cities and stuff, because there's just something in my head. Like I love that. I love that symmetry, and I want to build these communities. But in reality, it's like, yeah, it doesn't work. It just does not work. China has the endless industrial capacity as compared to like us in America and the West, because they are a centralized economy. And I don't even know if they're officially the Chinese Communist parties, or the CCP is their government, but they're communists, but it's complicated. The point is, they're able to, with the sheer will of the government, just go in and say, this is what we're going to do. And they build literal cities. They have these ghost cities, is basically what they're called. And they're these centrally planned cities that nobody moves and lives in. It's just, why would you? Like, you already have your city and it's fine. So yeah, you can build these beautiful modern cities, but if nobody wants to be there, nobody's going to go there. Yeah, this red badger. Yep. It doesn't work. And I guess it's one of these things, like, there are ways you can do it, right? Like if you do like really low scale, think of it like the gold rush. You know, you had these little towns popping up in the Great West, you know, during the Wild West era. And you know, if there was a reason to be there, people would be there. And then these small towns grew into some of these are big major cities now. But yeah, I mean, I in my head, I'm just like, you know what? If I had infinite resources, I would build a city in the middle of the United States and make it the new capital. Like you need to have a major water source, maybe the Colorado River or something. And you know, I'm just thinking about this, and you know, how many square miles is like make it like a circle, or we can even better, we can do a hexagon. And I'm just thinking all these things. It's like, yeah, it's cool in SimCity or City Skylines and stuff like that, but it just does not work, and it sucks. But that being said, when it comes to these urban developments, I'm curious what y'all think, because I look at this and I hear stories like this, and the conspiracy stuff aside, I think about it and I'm like, okay, well, if you're trying to build more housing, right? Obviously you're going to have to tear down some of these single family homes and put multi-family homes, apartments and stuff in here, high rises even. And it's just inevitable. It's inevitable, and you have to do this. And I question. I guess I'm curious because some people, well, my family has been here for several generations. You know, we've been here since like the 40s. In this area, my grandmother was here. You know, just before she died, she became a great grandmother. You know, the kids, you know, my kids were born, that sort of story. And, you know, all these people are here and we all had this community, and it's just, oh man, it sucks to see it's grown up so much. And now, you know, half the neighborhood that used to be just single family homes are now apartments and stuff. And people, oh man, I don't like that. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, what would you have it do? What would you have the town do? You want it to just stagnate and die? Or do you want it to grow? Because ultimately, there is limited land, there's limited space and resources in an area, and eventually people will just naturally leave if it's no longer viable. Like if you can't get a house in LA because a house in LA costs like $5 million, something stupid, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to live there. I'm going to live somewhere else. And people do. So, all right, what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, the Israel slash Hamas. Apparently, they did get all of the hostages back. So that's good. Oh man, I don't know that I can only take but so much of this before I start getting angry. I believe this chart because I've seen this. Pakistanis are about to overtake the white British as a percentage of school pupils in Birmingham, obviously in the UK. For 2024 to 2025, I mean, look how close these numbers are. White was the top, but look at the percentage. Wait. Before we even talk about overtaking, the UK lost that battle a long time ago. Okay, I'm laughing because it's so absurd. Like it's just obvious math. Or they say maths with the S on the end. It's just obvious math. Why? This is in 2020. This is what, 27% of the students or the children 27% were white. In the UK. This is the UK. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? Brandon says they voted for it. And this is one of those things. Actually, I'm going to leave that. What is happening right now? Why is my phone? Hold on one second, actually. Let me fix that. At no point is it a good idea to have your phone directly linked to your computer. So give me 1 second. Let's see if I could turn that off, because that's not cool. Quit. There we go. I linked it thinking I could do cool stuff with it, and I can, but that's really annoying. Sorry about that. Let me bring this back. Yes, they voted for it. They voted for it. And this is why I'm legitimately thinking of alternatives to democracy. I know nobody wants to talk about this, and people are going to be like, y'all in the chat are going to say, no, fuck you, you're crazy. But hear me out. Hear me out for a second. I'm legitimately thinking that we have to come up with an alternative, because this isn't working. It's not working. It's actually every democratic country on the world is having major problems right now. Most of these are Western nations, right? And they are all having similar problems. This is supposedly democracy. Well, in a multicultural democracy, which we have all become, this is what you see, right? And obviously, this is in the UK, so they consider they call all these people Asian because they're in the continent of Asia, even though I'm glad they actually broke this down. Purple Asian was Pakistanis, blue is white British, is that like a pinkish red? We'll just say a light red is black, that's Trump would say. Yellow is any other ethnic group, green is Bangladeshi, and then pink is Indian. Like Bangladeshis and England, Indians are basically the same with Pakistanis, but I guess that distinction is fine. This is just the last 5 years. And just look at the difference. Look how the white population is declining and then everyone else is increasing. I mean, they're not going to have a country soon. Like, you're not going to have your traditional country is just going to be gone. And that's entirely intentional. Like, they want this to happen because they believe that mixing all the races together and everyone from all over the world, all the different religions and stuff all together is like this that's their ultimate goal. They think it's going to create this like super humanity thing. These people are raised on like Star Trek communism. They think that everyone can work together and be united as one side by side. It's just not reality. Our differences are what make us interesting, right? So I have no problem with these different demographics existing. I never have, and I encourage them to have these different belief structures and religions and cultures by all means. But keep that over there. Indians, go stay in India. Bangladeshis, go stay in Bangladesh, etc., etc. Africans in Africa, Asians and Asians, Europeans in Europe, just stay. Like, we have enough diversity in the world right now. Just leave it alone. Diversity being a strength is you staying in your country, in your region. And I'm okay with that. I think that's great. Yes, we can go visit each other. I love that concept. Guess what? Go get a passport. You can go visit India, China, Japan, the safe places in Africa, if such a thing exists, Central and South America, all that stuff. You can go visit. And guess what? We'll even let you come visit with us too. Come into America and you can visit. But then when it's time, when your visa expires and your vacation is over, you go home and you stay there. I don't understand why that's so controversial. But this idea that we're voting ourselves into oblivion, that's called the suicidal empathy, the suicidal sympathy. Because it's emotional, it feels good. I'm voting for this beautiful, perfect, united world. this is going to be the United Federation of Planets one day. And it feels good, right? It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm doing the right thing. And the reality is they're not thinking 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead, 5 steps ahead of what that will lead to. Lance Corporal Veteran says, even the founding fathers didn't like democracy. They called it mob rule. Karl Marx called it the preferred dictatorship of the majority. And it's just, yeah, absolutely. And this doesn't mean that I am opposed to something akin to like still having a democratic process or like a republic style. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, as we have it, we have a constitutional republic. Most other democracies in the world are like a parliamentarian type of system. They don't really have a constitution typically, and their laws can change very quickly and easily, like way too quickly, actually. It's kind of scary how easy it is for them to change their laws. But it's just not working. It's not working anymore, and we need to figure out alternatives. I kind of think that I'm smart, but I'm not smart enough to say that I have the answer. What I would suggest, I think every region needs to try its own thing. We all can't have the same thing. There's a country in Africa, it might be Nigeria, I can't remember. They basically modeled exactly the United States model of government, including even, I believe they even copied some of our like word for word Bill of Rights type of things. And it's failed. It doesn't work because they have a different culture and history and genetics. You just can't give, it's like trying to say like we're spreading freedom, that nonsense. We're going to go into the Middle East and we're going to spread freedom. Well, they don't want freedom. Okay. They have thousands of years of living under this authoritarian tribal type of centralized leadership, religious, cultural. It's totally different. This idea that women can vote. Oh my gosh. They don't want that. Of course it's not going to work there. Liberia. Thank you, Lance Corporal Veteran. It's just not going to work. And I keep saying that we need some kind of modified monarchy here in America. And I know that's like blasphemy. It's, oh my gosh, it's absolute blasphemy. But what I would say is we keep forgetting that for all of human history, we basically had some form of monarchy, right? When a certain group, a certain number of people get together and the numbers get up, they usually have some kind of monarchy. And even Rome had like a constitutional or it's a modified form of a republic. It was like how would you even describe that? Because calling Rome a republic is just not really accurate. It was a monarchy, republic, monarchy. I don't know what you call that. I'm sure somebody knows the exact term that you would call it. But they had like emperors, right? They had a centralized leader, and then they had their Senate. Okay, so aristocracy, really? I mean, I guess. Okay. This is aristocracy. Okay. Well, I think there should be a regional thing. The United States of America, the concept was that we would have, we're a collection of separate countries. We are a union. States, people keep forgetting, like Americans, they don't understand. The word state means country. It doesn't mean like you think of this California, New York. That means country. So we were supposed to be a collection of countries that have like a shared federal, rule. The military primarily will That would be federal. I mean, then you have like certain federal things like we're all overlapping. We have the shared language and culture and religion, and that completely went to shit. But I don't know. I'm thinking like we can do something where you can have like a king in California. Well, obviously they would do that in California, but let's just say Mississippi wanted a king. Okay, let them have a king. I don't care if it's like direct monarchy where it's basically like the king is just the king, and his male descendants are his first eldest male son becomes the king when he dies. If that's what they want, I have no problem with that. But we would still have a central federal government that we all have to respect. We still have a constitution, so they can do other laws like minor laws and stuff like that, and have that direct rule as they wish, as long as they're not violating this central law. Richard, you say Liberia. Yes, thank you. And I guess that's kind of the concept. That's what it was supposed to be, is that we would have these separate countries that were united under one major flag. And then, every state meaning country, every state/country would do their own thing. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I think most people would be okay with that. It's just, the concept is, it's maddening to a lot of people. We obviously we have this like ultra freedom mentality where like, no, absolutely never, we'll literally, I'll grab my rifle right now and like we're going to war just even talking about this. But I think it would satisfy a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying, you said a Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. People are calling for that. They think that we should have a holy emperor, a religious, king. And I don't know. I'm not asking for that. I think that's going to be extreme, but I'm saying maybe we could just think of other concepts. But let me see. Let me get through this. Let's see. We got a lot. Yes. Communists love to hide behind the banner of democracy. And in fact, they're using all of our freedoms against us. Our enemies, the Muslim invaders, the Islamist invaders and extremists that are coming over to America and the West, they're very openly saying that they're using our freedoms against us because they don't have that in their countries. And in fact, most Muslim countries, especially the big established ones, they don't have religious extremism, Muslim extremism, and terror attacks in Saudi Arabia. It's unheard of. It almost never happens. And why do you think? Why do you think? Because they'll literally cut your head off. They will execute you in the street if you're an extremist. That's what they do. I don't suggest you look it up, but you could literally look it up and find Saudi Arabian beheadings. Like the government will just kill the jihadis. They're like, no, you're not doing that here. And yes, the communists know that it's like every time we like switch power, like the left take control, and then they'll use the authority that they have to the extreme, and hell, even violate the laws all the time. And then when Trump took over, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Oh my gosh, they're violating our free speech. You remember when during the height of censorship during COVID, when you couldn't even say COVID on any of these, like especially on YouTube, if you said COVID, not only would you get demonetized, usually they would just cut off your stream. You can't even say COVID. Couldn't even say the word COVID. And the censorship was so bad, you couldn't have any dissenting opinions. And then when the right, the centrists, the libertarians, everyone else were like, hey, we have a problem here. And then the left would say, it's a private platform. It's a private company. They can do what they want. And then guess what happens? Now it's being revealed that they were lying the whole time, that it was actually the government. The Biden administration was literally contacting Twitter at the time. They were contacting YouTube. They were contacting Facebook. And they were saying, hey, that particular post, we want that post removed. We want that person censored. and they did it in violation of the law. We will never get any compensation for that, mind you. Like, if I wanted to sue the government for my YouTube channel being suppressed, I should have like 10,000. Actually, I did the math before. Based on the growth, the typical trends of growth patterns, I should have like 50,000 subscribers by now. And if you look at my subscriber count, also hit that subscribe, please, if you're new here. If you notice my subscriber count, it has stayed stagnant and the same for the last 10 years. Yet, I have people that are consistent here all the time. I have new people popping in all the time. And it's just like, okay, clearly shadow banned. Interesting. All right, let's see what else we got here. Whenever I was overseas, I had to follow the laws of the countries I visited. Somehow that doesn't apply anymore to our civilization. Yeah, it's completely unacceptable, right? Like, if you go into somebody else's house, you follow their rules. Obvious thing is, like, some people, they say no shoes on in the house. Okay, they just don't want their dirt all over the carpet and stuff, and it's easier to clean. It's like, it's not a big deal. Take off your shoes. Now, if you just come in, I got muddy boots on, I was just mowing the grass, and I'm just walking around, obviously you're about to get your ass beat, for one. Dave Chappelle style. Oh my God, that skit will forever be in my head. He had his muddy ass shoes on the white couch. Fuck yo couch. And they beat his ass. They beat his legs. They beat his legs. Beautiful skit. If you haven't seen it, go watch it immediately. Anyway, yeah, you have to follow the rules of the and laws of the country that you're in, and if you can't do that, get out. Get the fuck out. Hold on, let me bring this. They sent the freed slaves to Africa, and the first thing they did was create a slave state. Yeah, Liberia. Doesn't Liberia mean freedom, by the way? Pretty sure that means freedom. Liberia was founded by repatriated blacks for the U.S. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they tried. They tried. Freedom is not the first instinct of man. If push, they always choose safety. Ooh, and that's where it gets. That's a scary part, because there is a time and place, right? There is a time and place. There are times when you can't have like solid, immovable rules and laws, right? Like, if you have like a think of like the 10 Commandments. Okay, those are usually considered to be good. Those are good laws. Those are good spiritual, religious laws, and those are immovable. But when you start getting more specific on things, right? Well, at a certain point, sometimes you have to be flexible, right? There's going to be exceptions to things. The 10 Commandments, thou shalt not murder. It's very erroneously, it says in a lot of interpretations, thou shalt not kill. Well, that's just not true, because that would contradict itself. The Bible says that you put certain people to death and stuff all the time. It's like, no, it's the word kill is not appropriate. It's not correct. It's murder. But yeah, like if a city or a town or a country has a law that says you can't wear purple or something, it's like, okay, well, that's weird, and I don't agree with that. But well, what happens when you have a foreign dignitary that comes in and it's their culture, they wear purple? It's like, well, you're not gonna lock them up or whatever, because it's like certain things you need to have exceptions for. So when you are in a existential crisis or a major war, right? Like Ukraine versus Russia, there's no question. It's one of those situations where democracy and your normal way of rule is just not going to be sustained. You can't expect to have all your freedoms and liberties during an existential war like that, no matter what side you believe in. That's not the point. My point is, significantly smaller country like Ukraine, at war with Russia, a much bigger country. This idea that they're going to maintain their rights and freedoms and stuff is just, you can't. If you as a country want to survive, you can't say, my personal freedom and liberty is more important than the existence of my country, the safety of my entire country. So what we like to do, it's always through history, it's supposed to be temporary, right? You don't keep these emergency measures forever. But big but. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to balance that out. But yeah, going back to this as I wrap this one up, put that back on. Yeah, I mean they're voting themselves out of their own country, and it's already happening. Like London is completely gone. It's like entirely it's London Stan at this point. You have the Muslims that they'll just pray in the middle of the street. They do this prayer takeovers. They're blasting the call to prayer over the loudspeakers, and it's just it's literally it's a soft invasion. But these bleeding the term bleeding heart liberal, right? These bleeding heart liberals, we more appropriately call it toxic sympathy and empathy, and suicidal sympathy and empathy now. They can't think past emotion. They're all emotion. They don't understand the logic and the cause and effect. They only say, oh my gosh, these people are claiming to be refugees and they're a war-torn country. These poor brown people, let's just import all of them. Just come on, everyone come in. Anyone with any kind of brain would be like, well, okay, they're refugees. All right, so what war? What country are they from? What conflict are they avoiding? What's the conflict? Why are they a refugee? Oh, well, it's just, it's poor. They're poor over there, and yeah, they just need better opportunities. I was like, well, that's not a refugee. Now you're talking about an economic migrant. And then what we need to ask ourselves is, where are the women and children? Why is it that like literally 85-90% of these people coming over, they're men? That's kind of strange. Very strange, actually. Huh. Very strange. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh my gosh. The internet is not letting go of Hasan Piker, like using the shock collar on his dog. They said there's now 7 videos that have been surfaced of him shocking the dog in the past 24 hours. Same movement, same emotion, same reaction. I'm scrolling when I'm reading this. I mean, it's one of these things, like, I don't know, man. I know a lot of people get really butthurt about mistreatment of animals, and I get it. I do. I truly do get that. But I hate the communist that is Hasan Piker. He is a deplorable, evil human being. But there is a place for shock collars. It will not kill the dog. It will not kill the animal in general that uses them. There is a place for it. But what I will say, I will not defend the fact that if you notice, he keeps the animal in on this mat thing for his long ass strings. When I say long ass streams, this man streams for like 8 hours a day, and then forcing the dog to sit there the entire stream, and then he reaches off camera. Hold on, let me do the motion. Let me see if you can see. I have it zoomed in, but you can see him like doing something off camera, and then the dog like runs back to its spot. It's kind of obvious that you're hitting a button or something, dude. So actually, let me bring that up. Let's talk about this. This doesn't look real, but of course, I always have to have the copyrighted music. But this is one of these things we were going to talk about too. These Tesla bots and robots and stuff these days, these Boston Dynamic bots, they're teaching them like Tai Chi and Kung Fu and karate. And it's like, okay, why are we making it easier for them to kill us? Like, seriously, why are we making it easier for these things to kill us? I don't get it. I mean, I guess there's a future where you mix together a whole bunch of sci-fi movies, and there's a future where part of it is all true, right? It's not going to be just one that comes true. Like, I'm wearing Luke Radowski, We Are Changed shirt, make 1984 fiction again, make Orwell fiction again. You know, these dystopian futures, it's going to be this hodgepodge mix of stuff. It's already starting to come true. But yeah, I look at this and I'm just like, can we just not? Can we not do this, please? All right. And I keep closing it out as I'm scrolling, obviously, because there's all kinds of stuff on here. You never know what you're going to scroll on Twitter. I mean, I don't know what's happening here. This is rage bait. I guess I'll show it. This is rage bait. But you're entitled to enjoy some rage bait every now and again. Caption says an unconscious man in a parking lot, and these black gentlemen go help him. These good Samaritans go help him. Are they resuscitating him? Hey, what are you doing in his pockets? What are you doing with his watch? That's not helping him. Wait a minute, chat. I was lied to. I thought they were good Samaritans.
He done that bad.
Oh no. They're running through his pockets. Man. Here's a good one. I should have saved this. Gosh, where was I driving? I had a case maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And this was like a week, 2 weeks after that I think it was a legal immigrant. He was the truck driver, and he did that illegal U-turn and killed those other immigrants. And I was driving on the highway at night, late at night, And this truck driver just like literally cuts off in front of me, like 3 lanes over to go to this exit on the left. Man, the car in front of me slammed on their brakes. It's literally they ran them off the road. And then I slammed on my brakes. Man, when I tell you, I don't even think I could explain the what I was thinking in my head, what I was about to do. I was that angry. Like, you just tried to kill who knows who was in that car in front of me, that van in front of me, and you tried to kill me. And I knew for a fact, if I were to go over there and see who was driving that thing, it would be a fucking immigrant. I know it would be. And this is one of these things where I'm trying not to be... You don't want to get in this trap of just start hating people. But it's like, bro, like, you're making it really hard for me not to have like a permanent complex against foreigners when they're literally trying to kill us. Like, we are not the same. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you don't understand our basic rules and laws on how to drive, the standards, then you don't need to be here.
You have got to be kidding me. I mean, what the
Is that at a toll stop?
Dude, what?
Cut him off, yeah. Call the police. Yeah, call the police.
What are you doing?
I'm going that way. He's right here. But it's not working. Then I'm done. I'll go the other side.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Okay.
You are going the wrong way down the freeway. You are committing a felony right now.
No,
Okay. What I'm doing, sir?
Well, one, why the going the wrong way down the freeway?
That's it, right? I'm doing it back. What is that?
Well, no, I'm just asking because
I'm so sorry, but it's the fault. I go that side, and that's not.
yeah, turn around when you have a clear spot.
Okay.
Don't even move your truck. Turn your hazard lights on for one.
Okay.
Turn your hazard lights on now. Your hazard lights, your blinkers, your turn your hazard lights on. They're on. Okay.
I can't.
Real.
Completely unacceptable. Like, why are you in our country? Like, no way. Like, I can't keep dealing with this. But this is the thing, is like, I do keep handling it, right? Because we're not ruled by our emotions, but it is entirely enraging to see this. Okay. Let me see what else I got going on. This is I'm assuming an illegal immigrant. His mouth is all busted up, and he's fighting them. He won't get in the car. Uh-huh. What? Okay, all right. I'll show this one. This is one of these like. Okay, what is even happening here? This is 5 minutes long. I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole thing, but
Okay, so I got this comment, and that's actually a really good point that I did not bring up. Yes, I was on testosterone for basically my entire pregnancy. I found out that I was pregnant, little towards the end of March, and then I went in for an abortion and everything, and found out I was 8 months pregnant. So, during that entire time,
wait a minute. I'm laughing because this is just so absurd already. We're 27 seconds in. So you're transgender. You're female. A female to male. Which I don't even like that phraseology. No, this is work. They're like freaking out over some training that's like 8 hours long. I haven't finished yet. This is a transgender. This is a female who is trying to be a man who got pregnant. And then when they found out they were pregnant, they wanted to get an abortion, but they were 8 months pregnant. And that's just a viable baby at that point. I'm really confused. How do you not know you're pregnant? This is a fairly fit-looking person. How do you not tell you have this ginormous stomach?
while I was unknowingly pregnant, I did have a month period where I was drinking heavily Long Island iced tea, and I wasn't like getting super drunk every night, but I was drinking, and I made it very clear to the anyone I talked to, like any of the doctors and everything. I was like, listen, I take steroids being for my asthma, which I was having a lot of asthma issues at the time, so I was constantly doing like nebulizers, which is like a type of steroid. And then I was also taking Xanax every single night to go to sleep. I also was a pretty avid weed smoker. I smoked weed basically.
My God. So the baby, I'm really curious what the baby is. So it just came out completely retarded then, right? You're a heavy drinker, heavy weed smoker. You do pharmaceuticals for other reasons. Like the baby just came out retarded then, right?
The entire 8 months of my pregnancy. As soon as I found out, though, I stopped everything. I didn't take Xanax anymore. I stopped taking my Buspar, because you cannot take Buspar whenever you're pregnant. I stopped drinking, which like I wasn't really drinking at that point anyway, thankfully. There was only like about a month of the pregnancy where I was drinking, but I was drinking. I was doing quite a lot of things that you're not supposed to do whenever you're pregnant, which obviously I do not recommend. I was also injecting my testosterone in my stomach, which now I do it in my side, but at the time I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do it there. There is a way that...
How do you not know? See, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a second. This is a serious problem. Yet again, they're exposing themselves. This trans person is talking about their injections, their testosterone injections, and you didn't know where you were supposed to put the needle. You don't know where you're supposed to do that. Did your doctor prescribe this to you? Or are you just buying testosterone online? Because apparently you can do that and somehow they send it to you. Like, I'm like, come on, man. This is ridiculous. This is the state of our world.
They can tell if the amniotic fluid or anything like that has been penetrated by that. Thankfully, somehow, that did not happen for me. My son is 4 now. He has no vision problems. I'm very, very blind. I have hearing problems.
4 years old?
I just had like progressive hearing damage because I listened to like really loud music whenever I was younger, and
When you're
had
younger,
asthma
how old are you
super bad.
now?
And he has none of it. He is literally a miracle child. That's all I can say. And I did not hide any of that stuff from my doctors, even like in the delivery room and everything. I told them everything, and I told my doctors everything. I didn't keep any.
At this point, I'm just like, okay, well, what does a child look like? Do you talk about? I'm like really curious. Like, this is insane. I'm gonna scroll to the next story. Birmingham. Somebody is trying to snatch up this child. He's trying to put her in a car. Looks like he did put her in a car. And like nobody's like really stopping, like they're watching. But like almost nobody's stopping him. And this is the thing, like they talk about rape gangs. Looks like people are actually trying to block the cars now, so you can't leave. I was just like, this is the state of our civilization. Because we're importing these people who they literally teach in the mosque. Some of them, not all of them. Not all of them. But they'll teach that you can rape foreigners, you can rape white women and stuff because they're not Muslim. It's fine. It's not against the law. It's not against Muslim law because they're not Muslim. I'm like, man, I don't know about you, but as a raised Christian and stuff, like rape was rape. It's against not only the laws of man, it's against the spiritual laws. Here we go. Yet another illegal immigrant truck driver. This one is caught sleeping. I'm sorry. It says non-citizen truck driver. Well, okay, wait a minute. If he can't speak English, he has no work visa. If he has no visa, only a B1, a B2. I don't know if that is. Oh, a B1, a B2 is probably like a travel visa. So he's working in the country illegally.
What are you hauling? You know what's your load? What is it? Food? Yeah. Okay. All right.
What's insane, he's 700 miles from the border hauling a load from Mississippi to Oklahoma. Not a cross-border shipment. This is straight up cabotage. Uh-huh.
Where's your work visa?
Tourist visa. This is the thing, is like, why are, and they're like criticizing the state trooper, Arkansas state trooper. I don't understand. Like, it's not the state's that should be enforcing this. Like, obviously, in a perfect world, we would be all working together and stuff, but it's like, come on, guys. Okay. Okay, the government shutdown. U.S. government shutdown is now forecast to last longer than 35 days. It would make it the longest in history. Okay. Rabbit Hole says, at this rate, it'll be the longest in history. The government has been closed for a few weeks now. Have most Americans noticed or been affected? I haven't noticed anything. I haven't been affected at all. I have a federal government family member who she hasn't really been affected at all either. Her job is still going. It's essential. But, I mean, can we just keep it this way, I guess? Let's keep it this way. If not, if you haven't been affected, then it's time to take a closer look at the role of government and use Doge to determine what is and is not essential. Somehow, I think we will still find a lot of things that can be cut or down. I mean, that's the thing is, yes, of course you're going to find more things that can be shut down. Like, if these people are not working and, you know, life isn't ending, then maybe we should just keep it closed forever. Like, I don't really understand. Like, why would we reopen something that we're not using? Now, some people are saying, I did notice that left and right, they're saying that there are government benefits like SNAP benefits and stuff that are being affected. But this is a thing, like, these types of programs should be temporary. They shouldn't be something like these people are relying on food stamps for years, you know, relying on these other programs for years. And my understanding is that Trump made it like it's either 6 months or a year for Section 8 housing. Like, you can't just be on Section 8 indefinitely anymore. It's like, finally, we have some sense back. Finally. This is just, to me, I think it's just basic. Let's see what else. So why would Batman be choking out an ICE agent? Like, can we just like stop for a second and ask that question? Like, why would Batman choke out an ICE agent? It doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense. And yet again, this is what we're dealing with. We have these people who are what the hell is that? Oh. Can I get rid of that? No, because I actually accidentally hit a button. But yeah, very obviously, Batman would not just start attacking federal agents. Like, these people are living in this weird delusional state. Retarded take. Bruce Wayne has as much money as Elon. These leftoids would be protesting with a gala outside Wayne Manor every day, not realizing who they were threatening. Yeah. Yep. Batman's a law and order guy, but you know, obviously he uses violence. He'll beat him up because, like, the laws of man don't deal with these bastards fast enough. So he'll beat him up and you know, throw him outside of a police station or something, or just beats him up for fun. Yeah, I don't get it either, man. Like, this stuff is just so weird. It's so annoying. Why are they like this? Change this. Seriously? Is this what's happening?
The No Kings protest, Maria, really frustrating. I mean, this is part of Antifa, paid protesters. It begs the question, who's funding it? But yeah, Democrats want to wait for a big rally of a No Kings protest, when the bottom line is, who's running the show in the Senate? Chuck Schumer's not running the show. The No Kings protesters or organizers are running the show. Is AOC threatening a primary against Chuck Schumer? Is she running the show? But you need a strong leader in the Senate to take control and make decisions. I mean, and Chuck Schumer's blowing in the breeze.
Yeah. You don't, like, it's very obvious who's in control here. Until Trump does something to stop these people, Democrats are in charge. But they're very obviously in charge, right? Because if they weren't in charge, they wouldn't be doing this.
He has no power, no authority, because he's given it up to his primary opponent, potentially in AOC, or to the No Kings protest organizers, and it's shameful. The No Kings protest, Maria, really frustrating.
This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. It's very frustrating. Ooh. Realistic accuracy. Somebody else made a counter. Wow. Yeah. I agree. This is what Batman would actually be doing. Yeah. Like, look at any of the Batman movies. You would have those, like, street punks and thugs who would, like, harass people at the subways or, you know, rob people at the ATM or whatever. And then Batman would just show up and just beat them. Like, this idea that Batman would be on the side of the riotous far left. That's Joker. Like, that's what the Joker does. The Joker is the chaos guy. Batman would come in and beat their ass. So this idea that Batman would be against ICE, like, come on, guys. This is 10 out of 10. This is peak. See, and this is why I don't scroll. I'm going to show this for half a second. This is why I don't scroll. You got that Portland nudist thing. Oh, these people are sick. Well. We've got semi-breaking news. They're saying Madagascar president is claiming that there's a coup underway. Well, let me look that up. What the fuck is going on in Madagascar? Hold on 1 second. How do you even spell that? Oh, no. I got it right the first time. Oh, Lord. All right. Let me pull this on the screen. Let's see what the fuck is going on now. Yeah. Soldiers threaten to seize state TV in Madagascar, presidency says. Oh, boy. What? I read this as nasty booty. I like, I know it's a serious story. I'm sorry, I apologize. But as I'm like speed reading, I'm like, what? Nasty booty. Natasha Booty. Let's see. Summary. Soldiers in Madagascar have threatened to seize state media headquarters. President Andry, I can't say that, Andry Rajoelina's. This has just delayed his plan to address the nation. The whereabouts of the president are unclear. Some are saying he has fled the country. Wow. An attempt to seize power illegally is underway. They're using the military. Security forces are working to keep the order in the nation. It's just interesting to me that when you look at this, right, when you see this, we have people in America right now like, oh my gosh, they're using the National Guard to stop riots and uprisings. It's like, okay, well, that's pretty standard, and in fact, that's like nothing. Most countries actually will just send in the fucking army. Yeah, we'll send in their military with guns and real bullets, and they'll just shoot the protesters. They'll shoot the insurrectionists, the rioters, whatever. In America, we have some semblance of standards still. So, you know, seeing the National Guard unarmed on the streets, I'm not really concerned with. But anyway, so let's see. 2 weeks of youth-led protests over high unemployment, cost of living, and corruption. This seems to be a theme all over the planet. Nepal just had one. What was the other country that just had one too? Is it the Malaysia? I think it was Malaysia also had a major mass unrest. Madagascar is now effectively being run by a powerful military unit known as CAPSAT. Senior leader in Madagascar's largest opposition party has told me. The politician pointed to the recent selection of the new army chief of staff, saying that CAPSAT made the appointment and didn't consult the appointment ministers. Latest post. But emotional scenes at the Madagascar's capital. This is happening now. Huge crowds have converged on the main square of Madagascar's capital. And Antananarivo, sorry, my apologies. To keep up the pressure of the president. Okay. Prayers are also for Safidi, whose family says has died during the demonstrations. Okay. It's crazy how all over the world, all of these different things are happening. Look at this. UN human rights chief previously accused the security force of using unnecessary and disproportionate force to quell the unrest. He said at least 22 people were killed and 100 others injured. I mean, and the official government is saying half that, 12 people had killed. All of these individuals were looters and vandals. I don't know. Said one word, aka, or one word TikTok, aka China. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, with the access to the internet, like everyone's borrowing from each other and getting inspired from each other. So I get that. Do we have any videos? AP News, Reuters. This is a day ago. Let's see what's happening on Reuters. Notice, though, in this picture, no one seems to be rioting. Oh, no, it's saying the president is gone. French military plane. The president of Madagascar has fled. Wow. Yeah, this is Madagascar's president has fled the African nation. Wow. This is the second time that young protesters have toppled a government in weeks of worldwide Gen Z unrest. Here's the thing about that. As a Gen Y or millennial, we're a middle age now. I'm almost 40. We're too old for this shit. I did. We did the Ferguson riots and stuff 10 years ago, even though I don't necessarily agree with their goals. And then we had the Occupy Wall Street before that. Yeah, I'm too old for that shit now. Now I'm like, I get to sit back and, I could talk shit on the internet through a camera and let the kids go and do what they feel is necessary. Oh, that's what a delightful email I just received from my fiance. Apparently we need to collect a fecal sample for one of the cats. Great. That's joyous. Best day ever. Let's see what else is going on. Wow. Yeah, I mean, when you flee the country, I mean, that's it. Like you're done, I guess, and the other opposition will just take over. So, It says that the president struck a deal with French President Emmanuel Macron and got flown out. Wow. Oh, I didn't realize it was a French colony. I guess that makes sense. Demonstrations had erupted in the former French colony on September 25th. Wow, that far back. Over water and power shortages, but quickly escalated into an uprising over broader grievances, including corruption, bad governance, and lack of basic services. So this is like a story as old as time. It doesn't matter what form of government you have. If the government doesn't do its job, which is to provide services and security and a decent life for the people, they're gonna overthrow you. So I mean, it is what it is. And this is another thing. It's like saying that this is a democracy, right? He was the president. He was elected, but then he was like super corrupt and all this other stuff. You notice all these like second and third world nations around the country or around the world where they supposedly have these democracies, but yet they're always corrupt and they always fail. It's almost like democracy isn't actually working. Yet we can look at monarchies. I'm not necessarily saying the whole world needs to be a monarchy. I'm just saying if you look at history, the most stable forms of government tend to be monarchies. There are royal lineages that span thousands of years. There are dynasties even. Look at it in China, Japan. Throughout most of Europe, even there are these family dynasties that ruled for thousands of years. Egypt, and they seemed pretty stable. Now we have these wild democracies, and it's just chaos every couple of years. There's constantly, mass unrest and uprisings. The anger mirrors recent protests against ruling elites in countries including Nepal, like I said, yep. And then Morocco. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. All right, we're wrapping up here. I can only do about 2 hours. There's a couple of reasons for that. I got some other stuff to do, but one of the reasons trying to keep it under 2 hours is the program I'm using, StreamYard. If you keep it under 2 hours, they will auto-generate clips for you, and I don't have to sit here and go back and edit things to try to send the clips. So, yeah, there's just a lot going on. Oh, today's Columbus Day. Oh, I didn't even notice. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all I have for y'all right now. I hope that everyone has a great day, that they have a good rest of the week. I probably won't be streaming anymore. I'm going to hit back on work soon tomorrow. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, if indeed you still are. And I will see you all next time.